Okay, so I'm going into recording right now and I'm just gonna set up my recording. That was for the avatar reaction that I was doing. So I'm gonna need to go video capture device and we're gonna have to go to animes. There we go. Hey guys, we're back with Retail Cafe. We're on season 5. We're like 3 months behind. But you know what? We're on season 5. We're on season 5, guys. We're on season, and then next year we're gonna start with season 1 again in January. But yeah, we're gonna open that up and we're gonna say okay. Wait, why isn't okay? I don't know why this is not sharing. Wait, hold on. Why aren't you? Maybe I should just remove you. Go, yeah, add a scene. Oh, uh. Let's try with this one and see what happens. Thank you. Okay, it doesn't really matter which side this is on. There we go. And then I'm just gonna move my model up. Maybe put her here. Zoom in a little bit more. There we go. Okay, guys. So for this next section of our subathon, we are gonna continue with Retail Cafe Season 5. And we are gonna be actually, let's, close that. And again, we are only gonna do 3 stories for Retail Cafe. We're gonna do short, medium, and long. And if you guys are new to, if there are any viewers in here that are new to Retail Cafe, this is how it works. I go on to Reddit. I read retail stories from retailers. Yeah, Retail Cafe. I read stories from retailers and then I rate the stories 1 out of 5, 1 being wholesome, 5 being really dangerous or ridiculous, and then 3 is like somewhere in between. And then I give my opinions, and because I've worked in retail before, and based off my experiences, I give my opinions on how I would have handled the situation if I would have handled it differently, or if there was nothing to be changed. So basically, that's how retail reaction works with me. And then also, I would like to hear feedback from you in the YouTube comments down below to let me know what you guys would have done in that situation or what you would have thought on the situation. And if you guys do like this kind of content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And apparently, there's this new thing on YouTube called hype. I don't know what that does, I don't know what it means, but please hype this video. And also, guys, if you want to go check out my merch, the link shall be in the description down below where you guys can go cop my merch. I don't know if you can see my coffee cap that I'm wearing, but yeah, with that being said, let's hop into the first story. And yes, I am on my recording overlay. I'm not on my Twitch overlay. So yeah, if you guys don't see chat, that is, and for those who are on Twitch, watching this on Twitch, if you don't see chat, that's the reason why I am on my recording overlay and not my Twitch overlay. Okay, so the first one is from Particular Home 6455. And this one is called, but this Sprite is a lemon lime. Okay. I need some context. It's a hot summer where I live. I work at a garden store, so naturally the store itself is also pretty warm. So, of course, we sell drinks at the front of the store in order to quench our poor customers' thirst, which is nice, very considerate. A woman wanted some Sprites. We sell the basic soda Sprites being one of them, so when she asked if we had regular Sprites, I pointed her towards the fridge. But Sprite is lemon. It is lemon. It is. It. Have you never read the label on Sprite? It is lemon lime. What do you mean? It's not normal Sprite. I love Sprite. Sprite is one of my favorite drinks. Sprites and Kit Kats. If you get me those two things, I'm happy for the rest of the day. But what do you mean? It's not normal Sprites. Have you never read or looked at the logo of Sprites? It's lemon. It's lemon lime. What do you mean? It's not normal Sprites. Why am I having an existential crisis over this? It doesn't make sense. But this Sprite is lemon lime. It's not normal Sprite. I looked at her and said, that's the default Sprite flavor. No, it's not. Sprite is Sprite flavored. Ma'am, don't you read? Don't you read what you put into your mouth? Don't you read what you put into your body? I just, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna allow chat to rate the stories based off my reactions. Not based off the story, but based off my reactions to the story, okay? I've been drinking Sprite my whole life, and I'm fairly certain it has always been lemon lime flavored. Exactly. I didn't even know how to handle it at that point. Sprite is made from lemongrass. It's lemon flavored. I just shrugged and asked if she still wanted it. She did. She didn't open it while she was there, but I really wish I could have been there when she figured out it tasted like regular Sprite. Okay, so I'm gonna give my rating and then I am gonna allow my chat to rate my reaction out of 5. Okay, so I would rate this a 3 out of 5 because of like I just because of how frustrating this customer is. I just don't you read what you put into your body. I honestly, again, how I would have reacted, I think I would have been a little bit less demure. I would have been like, lady, do you not read what you put into your body? Do you not look at labels and logos of things? Sprite is lemon. It's lemon lime. If you look at Sprite, you can make Sprite with lemongrass. It's always been lemon flavored. What do you mean? Sprite tastes like Sprite. Sprite is not a flavor. Sprite is the name of the drink. What do you mean? Okay. I would have most likely got into trouble for that. Oh, I didn't think this, but I feel incredibly vindicated. Lol, she was so adamant. I had to Google it for her. Alignment marketing term. A few months ago, back in March, April, they probably changed the packaging to emphasize the lemon lime aspect of it, and the OP's customer just now saw the new marketing label. Doesn't matter if the label changed. Sprite is all. Yeah, yeah. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe. Okay. So we got a 1 or 2 out of 5. Didn't argue much. I would rate it a 3 because of how frustrated I would have got. So yeah, my feelings kind of did get in the way there. But I will have to agree with chat. It would be a 2 out of 5 because there wasn't really that. I think I got emotional about it because Sprite is my favorite drink to drink. I do like Sprite. So yeah. I often go through the comments, see if like there's any, funny anecdotes in the comments, stuff like that. But with that being said, we can close this one. So that's our short story for today. That's the short retail story. Now we're going to move on to the medium story, which is okay. Be my girl. This one is this one is given to us. Sorry, this retail story. You guys get to see and hear all the bloopers. Okay, normally I cut this stuff out. Okay, so this one is called Guy in the Thrift Store Furious that I tried to help him buy the item he wanted to buy. How to get angry to. Okay, this kind of reminds me because at the women's conference, okay, we were looking at Hagar and, what happened to her in the Bible and stuff like that. Now, I believe, was it Adam? Sarah and Sarah and Abraham. They were getting on in age. They weren't getting, you know, they were really, really old. And they were like, we're not going to have babies. Sleep with my servants, Hagar, so that we can, and then I can have a family through her. So Abraham agreed to it. And like, it's the same concept. Abraham agreed to it, slept with this Egyptian servants of Hagar's, of Sarah. Sorry, Hagar was the woman's name. And she becomes pregnant. When she becomes pregnant, Hagar gets angry that she's pregnant and starts treating her like shit. But when she's the one who asked for it, this is the exact same thing. Just the title is just like, why? Why is it when you ask for something, you get angry when you get what you asked for? Like, somebody please explain it to me. I don't think I ever crashed out over a title before. I don't think. I have to look back at my other retail stories, but I don't think I ever crashed out of a title before. Oh. Okay, breathe. This story is given to us by B underscore my girl, and this is a medium story. I'm gonna upvote it so long. I can always change my mind later on, but I'm gonna go ahead and read the story. For context, I work at a large thrift store, probably the largest by volume in our area. Our inventory covers probably 4,000 to 5,000 square feet in total. I schedule pickups for new items through our system and man the front desk about 95% of the time. There is a regular who hates me. Specifically, he hates that I do not have encyclopedic knowledge of our inventory. Okay. He is 6'4" and always wearing weird shapeless jackets. I will confess that my own dislike for him is what is driving me to tell you that he also reeks of something that is either body odor or cat urine. Ugh. For about 20 minutes every day, he will walk around the shop floor in silence looking at everything the floor workers have set out, and then he will approach me empty-handed to ask me how much an item costs. He is not describing these items to me in any kind of detail for the record. He asks me how much the red chair or shoes will cost. I then have to ask him to clarify what he is talking about, which makes him extremely irritated. Okay, um, I'll share my story about this later on. One time he actually bought the item he wanted priced to the front, only it was still in a cardboard box that he would not open. I asked him several times if I could see or know what he was holding, and he rolled his eyes and said I didn't say what it was. I asked how much it was. I had to call my supervisor over from his office to tell the man that yes, he did have to show me what was in the cardboard box, as I am not yet capable of seeing through solid objects. I love it. Today he came in again and did his usual routine, but he seemed more sullen than usual. if that was possible. He finally came to the front and asked me how much how much the clear Tupperware was. I assume that if you reading this, you know that most Tupperware is clear. I asked him which one and got up to go find what he was talking about. This apparently Joe Cappy's last straw. He scoffed and pointed at me, then told me to never ask which ones. I told him I did not know what I told him I did not in fact know what he was talking about, that I am not in charge of inventory at the store. He kept repeating which ones you asked me, which ones at increasing volume until my manager had to get involved and asked him to either bring the Tupperware to the front and pay whatever they cost or get out. He did in fact pay for the $2 piece large Tupperware containers. My manager then took the guy outside and told him that he was to bring anything he wanted to ask me about or negotiate the prices of to the front from now on. Mr. Cappy does not like this rule, and he has said things indicating he might never come back. Please let it be true. Edit. For those worried about me, thank you for the support. For what it's worth, I am within easy hollering distance of multiple big dudes who would drag this guy out if ever he caused real trouble. I honestly don't think this guy would escalate to violence, but I am being careful regardless. My manager is a good guy and has made it clear to J. Cappy esque that he will not be welcome back unless he starts acting like a normal person. I would rate this a 3 out of 5 because this guy is being impossible. The title is a little misleading, I will say, because he's not getting angry at, fears that I tried to help him buy the item he wanted to buy. He's not getting angry because he's not getting the item he wants. He's getting angry because he's not getting the prices he wants without any description, which I can attest to. Because when I worked at the bookstore, we would have customers come in, and it happened to, yeah, that's what I said. I agree. 3 or 3.5. We would have customers walk in, and they would walk in and be like, "Hey, I'm looking for a book." Now, I understand you can't always remember everything, and we were fine with that. They were like, "I can't remember the name or the title of the book, but I do remember the book was blue." Now, the problem with that is there are a lot of blue books. I'm like, "Do you remember the image of the book? Do you remember what was on the front cover?" "No, I just remember the book was blue." Okay. "Do you remember what the book was about?" "No." And they just give you a blue book and they expect you to know what it is you are talking about. So what we started doing was, okay, how about this? Here's our number. We gave them the store's number. We gave them the store's website, and we're just like, if you find this book, give us a call and we'll see if we got it, or we'll see if we can order it for you. 9 out of 10 times the customers didn't come back. There were a few times that the customers did come back and be like, "This is the book I was talking about." And sometimes they were a lot more helpful than a blue book, and they could give you a little bit more detail, and then, you know, they would get the book immediately. Or they will look on their phone and be like, "That's the book, this is the book," and then we'll help them. But when they would come in and be like, "Oh, I'm looking for a blue book." Sorry? Yeah, it's a blue book. Or a red book or an orange book or whatever the case may be. And we would just look at them and we'd just be like, "Do you know the name of the book?" "No." "Do you know the title of the book?" "No." "Do you remember what was on the front cover?" "No." "It's a blue book." And I'm like, "Do you know how many blue books there are?" And then we'll go through the books. We would actually go the extra mile and go through the books. I'm like, "Is it this book?" "No." "It's a blue book." "Yes, this book is also blue." "Oh, it's not that one." "Is it this one?" "No." "Is it this one?" "No." I'm like, "Man, Also, can you maybe come back when you've got the name and title of the book? And sometimes the customers would get irritated, and sometimes the customers were like, guys, there were so many books with the same color, and I'm just like, and we're just sitting there, we're just standing there, and we're just like, huh? Ready to pull our hair out so I can understand. Did they know what the book was about? No. And we're just sitting there ready to pull our hair out, and we're just like, I, I it is one of the most frustrating things in the world when working in retail. Because, for example, the Tupperware, not all Tupperware boxes are clear. Most of them are. And I'm like, okay, which clear Tupperware are there? Because there's different kinds of clear Tupperwares. There are different brands. Like, which one are you talking about? I'm just sitting there and we're just sitting there. We're just like, we're ready to pull our hair out. We just, But yeah, that was that. And then yeah, but I'll rate that a 3.5 out of 5. I don't think we've ever had a customer shout at us like that before or mistreat us like that before. They would get frustrated and walked out because they are frustrated, but I think they were more frustrated with themselves than what they were with us. So we've never really had an experience like that. I did have a different experience though. We were busy taking stock and stuff like that. Now we had a thing called a hot list. Now the reason why we called them these books the hot list is because these books were uh, um most popular to steal. Like they will often get stolen if they were just left on the shelves on the floor. So we would keep them behind the counter. So we would sit there. So we would every week we would have to take stock of the hot list and we would have to do the top selling books in our store or in the branch's store. And I remember I was in charge of the hot list that day and I'm busy doing the hot list and stuff like that. Now my manager at the time, she came to me and she was like, Cassandra, come stand by us. And like, come stand behind the counter. And I'm like, because I'm busy. And I'm just like, what do you mean? Now, I was wearing jeans and a t-shirt because we had to wear jeans and a black shirt. That was the uniform. So I went to go stand behind the counter and I'm like, what's going on? What do you mean? And there was this old man standing outside the store window staring at my ass. And I looked at him and you could see he was still staring at me and I was like, "Oh, thank you." And she said he was walking out backwards slowly staring at your butts. That's why I told you to stand here. So they did that after he left and I was like, "Oh." And I thanked her because, I didn't realize what was going on because I don't have eyes at the back of my head, you know? But yeah, it was interesting. It was now I felt weird afterwards and I'm like, oh, okay, that's a little weird. And I laughed it off because I was just like, oh. But I didn't feel threatened. I didn't feel unsafe or anything like that. I, in fact, I just felt really grateful because, I had great people around me. But, you know, um, that's one of the other experiences I had in retail. But anyway, moving on. This one is a long story, and this one is called by Aussie Sass. Ooh, I like that one. And it's called No, We Don't Sell Walking Sticks. Oh, I read this one. I read this one. Okay, this is the wrong one. This was from season 4. Okay, I read this one as well. Damn, okay. Which one have I not read? Okay, this one is from Jupe's Not Dead, okay? And this one is You're Gonna Give Me My Bag Now. Mm, okay. You're gonna give me my bag now. Okay, the title's interesting, but we'll see where it goes. I work at a large warehouse style store, specifically in the curbside pickup department. Customers place their order on their app, select the pickup window, and we load it all into their cart. It's a very fast, high stress, labor intensive position, and we, like everyone else, don't always have enough staff to keep the flow within the company's parameters for how long it takes an order to be taken to a customer after they arrive. We aim for 5 minutes, but when 10 plus people all arrive at once and we have 2 employees doing it all, we can sometimes get up to 30 minutes wait time. It's annoying. We hate making people wait, but we work as fast as we can, which is understandable. Sometimes people get pissed waiting for so long, and I understand. I always apologize and thank the people for their patience, and 8 times out of 10, they're cool with it. Now, the problem is you can see there's a lot of people in front of you. Why are you getting angry with them? Because it's taking so long. Maybe come when it's not so busy, and if you can't, then you're just going to have to be patient. You can see they're busy. You can see there's a lot of people there. I don't understand. I don't understand customers. They'll go into a store, they'll see a store's busy, and then they'll get angry at the people working at the store because they're taking too long. Now, I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. There's sometimes that I have done that as well. I'm like, why are there only so many people working here and stuff like that? But that's why I don't like going to shops when I know it's, rush hour, or when I know the store's going to be busy. That's why I like going to the stores early in the mornings and maybe after lunch, because I know it's quiet. I don't like going after lunch because I like going in the mornings when the store's open, because at least the store's quiet and you've got enough time, you've got enough space to get what you need to done. You're in, you're out, and that's it. It's smooth, it's quick, and it's peaceful. I really don't like crowds. I get claustrophobic, and I tend to have panic attacks in crowds. So I like going in the mornings, and I like going when I know the store's going to be quiet, and I don't like going to the stores on weekends. This dude was not. I had just finished my 30-minute break, walked back through the store, and entered the curbside area. There was this random, very large, very angry man standing in the center of the area. Now, you can only get into this area through the corner I entered from, which is usually taped off and surrounded by employees, and the exit door we use to go out to the parking lot, which is offside of the building and auto locks with RFID tag entry. This man had followed an employee up to the door, grabbed the door before it shut, let himself in the back. I would call security. This is a 5 out of 5 situation, and was now trying to hold the entire curbside team hostage. This is a 5 out of 5. I would have called security, and I would have banned this man from the store, and I would have called police as well. Because no, he was hollering, he was hollering, give me my bag now. I'm gonna effing beat all your ass. Nope, that's when you call the police. There were about 7 of us who had accumulated throughout the ordeal, and one coa had taken the lead and was trying to de-escalate the situation. He was speaking calmly, saying things like, I'm sorry for your wait, sir. We have a procedure we must follow. We are doing our best. It's incredibly busy. You need to go back outside right now. You can't be in here. Please just leave. And as expected, this man was not having that. He kept insisting we were going to give in immediately or he was going to attack us. No team leads or supervisors jumped in to help. We have no security. That is dangerous. Why does the store not have security? And why isn't team leaders and managers jumping in to solve the situation? That's why you are leaders. That's why you are managers, because so you can handle things like this. Don't leave it for your staff. I would say this is a 10 out of 5 at this point. So the one coworker tried a different approach. He asked the man for his name and said we would prioritize his order, but he had to leave. Turns out homie was quite literally the next guy in our queue for his order, and his tantrum had added about 5 minutes to the wait time of every single one of the 12 people out there, including himself. My coworker told him that, sir, your order is next up right here. Just go to your car and we've got it. Eventually, we get him out the door. Most of the way, he sticks his hand in the door opening to prevent it from locking so he can stay right there where we have to exit and enter, still threatening violence. A different coworker retrieves his order, walks it over to him because, again, we had no help from higher ups and no security. What else are we supposed to do? Guy rips the bag out of his hands and says some shit and leaves. Turns out his big important order from the warehouse store where you buy in bulk was 1 single pound of generic ground beef. That was the whole order. That was what was important that he was threatening to beat and kill minimum wage employees over. The police were called and a manager took statements. 3 hours after it happened, I don't know what action was or wasn't taken in the end, but customers need a paid membership to shop here. So I hope at the very least that membership was revoked. They've revoked them for less. Why? What the? Yeah, why are the managers tolerating the behavior? Why not? I'm sorry your management team sucks. That always makes a difficult, stressful job so much worse. The minute he issues threats, he gets refunded and won't get served again. I am sorry, fellow warehouse. Oh, wait. Curbside person, I do the same job. I just happen to do it for the sister company of a certain mart. I just happen to be lucky that at my club we have management that will back us up. It is sounds like somebody needs to express concern up the chain. Yes, eventually the authorities were contacted, etc., but it really should have happened much, much sooner. Exactly. Also, there is a concern about the fact that the man got into that area at all, which is both a safety and theft concern. I shudder to think what would have happened if the man had a weapon on him. Active shooter situations have occurred over things that seem petty as the wait for a pound beef. Exactly. Where was the management in this? They were there. Why weren't they doing anything? This is so dangerous. This is a 10 out of 5. And honestly, I would have reported the management team to the higher ups, first of all. Second of all, after the police were called, I would have also contacted the higher ups because now I can't trust the management and team leaders in that store. Let them know of the situation, give this guy their name, and make sure that his membership was revoked and that he's banned from the store. And why didn't any of the other staff members or anyone else call the police? Why phone the police afterwards? Why not phone the police then and there? And why not say, sir, if you do not leave now, we are contacting the police. The police is on their way now. Like, this is so dangerous. Customers are insane. Like, what possesses you to act like that? In general, not just over ground beef or whatever, but what possesses you to act like that in general? It doesn't make any sense to me. It really, really doesn't. I can't. And it feels like if I don't stop talking about this now, I can talk about it forever. So I'm gonna stop myself. I'm gonna stop myself here. I hope you guys enjoyed this section. I hope you guys enjoyed retail retail cafe so far. I hope you guys enjoyed your drinks, your snacks, or whatever you guys decided to eat. And I shall see you tomorrow for episode 2 of Retail Cafe. Until then, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say bye. And for my Twitch streamers, I'll be taking a little break right now, and then we'll continue with the Genshin subathon. So see you soon.